Alright guys, so this is the second video for section 12.2, and we are just going to continue with some multiplication operations on matrices. But if you haven't watched the first video, make sure you do that, otherwise this probably won't make a whole lot of sense to you. Okay, so we are to example 3. Okay, so it says use the given matrices to evaluate A times B plus C and AB plus. This should be AC, because we're seeing if the distributive property works among these matrices. Okay, so I'm going to do both of these. So let's first do A times B plus C. Okay, so this is a 3 by 2 matrix, this is a 2 by 2, and this is a 2 by 2. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add B plus C. Okay, so B plus C would just be, okay, 0 plus 2, which is 2, 1 plus -3, which is -2, 3 plus -1, which is 2, and -6 plus 5, which is -1. All right, so then if I do A times B plus C, okay, well, A is 5, 3, -4, and 7, 1, and 2, times B plus C is this matrix right here that I just found, 2, -2, 2, -1. Okay, so let's first make sure that we can multiply them. So this is a 3 by 2 matrix, this is a 2 by 2. These match, so that tells me I can multiply them, and when I multiply them, I'm going to get a 3 by 2 matrix. All right, so let's do the first row and the first column. All right, so when I do that, I get 5 times 2 plus 7 times 2. Okay, then I'm going to finish off the second column. Didn't erase what I wanted it to. It's a 5. Okay, but I'm going to go to the second row now of the first matrix. I'm going to do 3 and 1, and then 2 and 2. So 3 times 2 plus 1 times 2. Okay, and then I'm going to do the last row. So I'm going to do the -4 and 2 now. So -4 times 2 plus 2 times 2. Okay, so that's going to be my first column of my full matrix. Okay, now I'm going to go to the second column. My second column, my second matrix. Okay, so I'm going to start with my first row. So it's going to be 5 times -2 plus 7 times -1. Okay, then I'm going to do my second row here. So I'm going to do my 3 and 1. So when I do that, I get 3 times -2 plus 1 times -1. And then last, I'm going to do my last row of my first matrix, and I'm still in the second column, my second matrix. So I have -4 times -2. And I'm going to add 2 times -1. All right, so let me erase these, make a little bit more room. Okay, so this is 10 plus 14, 6 plus 2, -8 plus 4. Up top is -10 minus 7, -6 minus 1, and 8 minus 2. And from here I get 10 plus 14 is 24, 6 plus 2 is 8, this is a -4, -17, -7, and a +6. Okay, so this would be my A times B plus C matrix. All right, put a little line under here because now I'm going to start AB plus AC. So let's do A times B first. Okay, A times B would be 5, 3, negative 4, and 7, 1, and 2. Okay, and then B is 0, 3, 1, negative 6. Okay, so this is a 3 by 2, this is a 2 by 2. So we can multiply them, and we're going to get a 3 by 2 when we do. So let's go ahead and, okay, let's do the first column here. So let's start with the first row. So this is going to be 5 times 0 plus 7 times 3. Then if I go to the second row, I have 3 times 0 plus 1 times 3. And then if I go to my third row, I get negative 4 times 0 plus 2 times 3. So that's my first column of my product matrix. Okay, so I'm done with the first column here. So I'm going to go ahead and remove the highlighting. And then I'm going to go to my second column, my second matrix. So I'm going to do this column now. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start with my first row of the first matrix. So I'm going to have 5 times 1 plus 7 times negative 6. And then I have my second row, which is going to be 3 times 1 plus 1 times negative 6. And then I have my last row of my first matrix, which is negative 4 times 1 plus 2 times negative 6. Okay, so if I simplify those, I get 0 plus 21, which is 21. Here I get 0 plus 3, which is 3. Here I get negative 24 plus 6, which is negative 18. Here I get 5 plus negative 42, which is negative 37. Then I get 3 plus negative 6, which is negative 3. And then negative 4 plus a negative 12, so negative 4 minus 12, which is negative 16. Okay, so this is my A times B. All right, guys, I can't read my own writing here. So this here, this is 3. This is a 0, not a 6. So it'd be 0 plus 6, which is 6. My bad. Couldn't read my own writing. All right, so I want you to go ahead and pause this video, but I want you to try to do A times C on your own. So do A times C on your own. So multiply my 5, 3, negative 4, and my 7, 1, 2 times my 2, negative 1, negative 3, and 5. Okay, go ahead and multiply those out and then stop there and we'll compare to make sure you're doing good. All right, so go ahead and check what you got just for AC, okay? For AC, this is what I got. I have added AB plus AC together. Okay, so this right here is AC. Okay, so once you're content with what you have, okay, if we do AB plus AC, that'd be 21, 3, and 6, negative 37, negative 3, and negative 16. And I'm going to add that to 3, 5, and negative 10, 20, negative 4, and 22. Okay, that's going to equal, well, 21 plus 3 is 24. 3 plus 5 is 8. 6 minus 10 is -4. -37 plus 20 is -17. -3 plus -4 is -7. And then -16 plus 22 would be a +6. Okay, so this here would be our final answer. And then when you look up and compare these two, they do look like they are the same. So at least in this case, the distributive property works. But I wouldn't be so content to accept that until you try a couple more. This could just be coincidence. Who knows? All right, let's look at example B now. Okay, so once again, we're going to find two things. Okay, so the first thing we're going to find is 2 times AC plus B. Okay, so I want you to go ahead and pause this video. Okay, just try to do this piece right here, 2 times AC plus B. Okay, so go ahead and do that, and then we'll check each other, and then we'll do the same thing over here, but 2 times AC plus B first. All right, if we're just looking at 2AC plus B, the first thing we're going to do is multiply A times C. Okay, so matrix A times matrix C, and this one wasn't that bad since this was just a 2 by 1 and a 2 by 2. Okay, so when I multiply A times C, I just get 64 over -20. Okay, and then remember this 2 here is a scalar, so that comes out front, and we just multiply each of the terms, or each element, if you will, of the matrix by 2. So we'd get 128 over -40. Okay, now when I add 2AC, when I add that to matrix B, which is just 0 over 4, I would get 128 over -36. So 2AC plus B is 128 over -36. All right, now I want you to pause this video and try to do this on your own, the AB minus AC. Okay, now notice you should have already found AC right here, so don't do all the extra work and do it again. Okay, so find AB and then do AB minus AC. All right, so AB minus AC, I probably should have put a line. Here's for my previous one. Okay, so it starts right here in red. So A times B, I got -36 over 12 when I simplified it all out. Okay, and then I found AC right here. And so rather than refining it, I just used the 64 over -20 that I found in the previous problem. And when I subtract them, I get -36 minus 64, which is -100. And then 12 minus a -20 is 12 plus 20, which is a +32. So this right here would be my answer to AB minus AC.